I cannot fuck with you, baby, you right. You are not for me, goodbye. You ain't shit to me, shit to me. You ain't shit to me, shit to me. You didn't.
What's good, Anxious Feet Squad? If you're new here, go ahead and hit that like button because it doesn't cost you a dime. Hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification bell so that you can know every time Anxious Feet post a video. Well, currently we having a little car chronicle. I've been wanting to talk to you guys about this, but this is like emotional for me, and I've really been trying to decide, like, you know, I want to do this without hurting nobody's feelings, you know, because, you know, it's sensitive, but I'm going to do this without naming names. There's probably going to be a few things I'm going to say that's kind of going, people going to know who I'm talking about, but there are some people in here that no one is going to know who I'm talking about. But I just been really wanting to get this off my chest. I've talked about it a little bit with a few friends, and I actually reached out and asked, was it okay? And then I thought about it. I was like, you don't even have to name him. You know what I'm saying, in the video. So I'm 40 years old, and most of my life, my sister dad has been my daddy. Anybody who knows me knows that already. You know, sometimes you block out stuff like that in your life and you forget. Like, you know, to me, he's my daddy. He's always been my daddy. So he got married to my older siblings, someone he's been with for years, is my older siblings' mother last year. And I went down to I went to the reception. I didn't make the wedding. We always running late when we go out of town, but you know, like I said, I had put it in the back of my mind that we're not bloodly related. He's my daddy. He's taking care of me all my life. I, you know, don't have any other thoughts of him but that. So, you know, we all having a good time. We drinking. And my stepmom tells me and one of my other little sisters, I won't say her name either, but she knows who she is, I accept y'all even though, y'all not really his real children. You know, and that stung a little bit because I feel like what's understood don't need to be explained. And, you know, she had been drinking. So, you know, I did look over that, but that hurt my feelings because you don't have to say that. Like, we know. I didn't know all my life. I found out when I was 11 because I asked my mama, I'm like, you know, I look different. And my last name is different. And it doesn't match anybody. You know, I was a smart girl. I always was. If you don't know me personally, my cousins then will tell you, like, my mind was always above where I was. I always was just, you know, very, very smart, very, very adult-like. You know, it never was anything that I feel like that I couldn't accomplish even at that young of an age. So I went to my mama. I was like, listen, I don't look like anybody. And I've now noticed that my little sister has your last name, and then now that I've noticed that daddy's last name is what it is, where do I fit into this? Because my last name is not like anybody's, and clearly I don't look like anybody. So she told me the truth. Right then and there, at 11, she told me the truth. She told me my daddy's name. She told me that my father, who had been raising me, had volunteered to be my daddy. He was like, love at first sight. He saw you. Before he saw you, he saw you. And he was like, I guess my mama told him what my real daddy had said, my blood biological father had said about being my dad. Well, honestly, he told my mama that he's a vet, and he told my mama, both of my daddies are vets, but the one that was not in the picture, who is blood, my father, he told my mama that he couldn't have any children because he had an injury while he was out in out in the Navy. He had an injury, and they said he couldn't have any kids. That was just his cop out not to be bothered, and I'll tell you how I know later. But my sister's dad saw me, love at first sight, and he told my mama, don't worry about it no more. I got her. So you fast forward I've been, this man has been my father to me, but at that point, I knew the truth. So when I was old enough to find him, I did. And I discovered that he was leading a lie. I'm trying to tell the story without mentioning names and without involving anybody else. This is my story to tell. But he told me that his wife was unaware that he had me and other siblings other than her children, and he didn't want her to know. So right then and there, I was hysterical. I cursed him out. I went off and I was like, I don't need a dad. I've had a dad my whole life. Like, now that, he showed me who he was all that time ago. I had to be about 18 at the time when I found him. And I was like, I'm done, because I had a dad. So I continued on with the dad that I have. But when my stepmom brought that up last year and said, even though y'all not really his kids, I still accept y'all, that made me want to reach out one more time to my dad, my biological father, because I had siblings that were really mine, that really are mine. She was right. Even though it hurt my feelings, she was right. Let me gather it. So, even though it hurt, she was telling the truth. And I needed to just try one more time. I'm like, it's been 20 years plus since I contacted him the first time. I want to see if his mind has changed. I don't want to leave here and not, try to make the effort to see. So I did. The first few times I didn't get him. And then one, right before the wine tasting, not the one that we just went to, but the one for that was some months back, the weekend before, I was at the nail shop and I decided to try the number one more time, and my dad answered. We talked and then we started to text after that. I didn't bring up the old, and I did not ask, was he still on the same thing about the wife. I didn't ask. About, not wanting his wife to know he had other kids and all that, because that's what he told me when we fell out. He was like, I didn't want her to know. But I just feel like that's something you should have disclosed to her, that you had other children. And later on, I went to find out that it wasn't just me. So, fast forward to a few weeks ago, me and my dad had been texting back and forth, just every week, like back and forth. I sent some pictures of me and the kids and stuff like that. But like I said, I had still not brought up the fact that he did not want to be my dad, and I did not know if he still felt that way. So it was late in the night times a few weeks ago, and a gentleman hit me on my inbox. I won't say his name out of respect for him. This is his story to tell as well, but not this part of it. And he asked, had I been speaking to so-and-so? And I said, yes, I've been speaking. First, I was a little hesitant to answer him because no one knew about my real dad. The world thinks the man that has been my dad all this time. I will not say his name. Like I said, I'm not mentioning names. Everybody knows who these people are that are in my family. Everybody who will see it will know. And everybody who don't, I'm giving you what I feel is respect for everybody. If they don't want their name in this, I won't bring it up. But I'm going to tell my story. So he went on to say that he was my bigger brother. And he was also an outside child. And that he had spoken with my dad. And my dad had told him about me and my little brother. I do also have another little brother here in Texas. And I don't know his mom. And my dad pretends as if he doesn't know his mom. So I don't have any way to find him, and I've been wanting to for over 20 years, and I have not. But my big brother came. He came to me. He was open, and we are working on building something that we have not had the opportunity to do. He is 43 and I'm 40. He has a lot of children as well as I do. I look at 3 as a lot, and he has 5. So it's a lot of time missed you can't get back. So I'm gonna say this. I feel that my father is extremely selfish. I feel that everyone should know who they are and where they come from. Literally feeling lost and out of place is not cool. You know, not knowing where you're from, looking so much different than everybody else. All of that stuff can become and make you feel so emotional. So I understood what he was saying. The stuff that he was feeling, I had always felt that. So we have connected. We have not met in person. I've never met my biological father in person either. I won't discuss my siblings that he has with his wife, because that's a whole nother story. All of this, I want to be a lot tougher than I am when it comes to this. But honestly, I am emotional about it, because just because my dad is so selfish and so self-absorbed and such a coward, I've missed all of this time with my siblings. You know, we don't know when our time is. I'm 40. I know I'm halfway there. You know, no matter how much you don't like to talk about it, we know it has to happen. And I've lost all this time. So I'm making this video to encourage any and everybody. If you're adopted, you feel like you don't belong, you don't know where your father is, if you can get any kind of lead to complete yourself, if you feel that you're incomplete in any kind of way, please fulfill yourself. Please fulfill yourself. I won't tell you guys it's going to be easy, because it is not going to be easy. Honestly, I think this has been harder than birthing my children, knowing all of this, finding out all of this, and just, you know, having to accept rejection. And, you know, I don't have a problem with accepting rejection, but I do have a problem with accepting rejection when it comes from someone not stepping up to the plate. Because I think about my dad, who raised me, stepping up to the plate. He didn't care who he was with. I'm bringing her another baby. This my baby. Don't ask no questions. This my baby. And what's so weird is people were so funny with me when I was little. When my grandpa died, my dad's dad, and I was at the funeral, people were treating me funny. They didn't want me on. They wouldn't let me on the bus. They had like a big van for the children to ride on, from the church to the afterpay. I was young, so I can't remember everything, but I do remember they treated me different because I was light-skinned. I was a child. I didn't know what they were doing then, but now I know what it was. You're light-skinned, and you don't look shit like nobody. And the same lady that told me, same stepmama that told me, no, it wasn't my stepmama, it wasn't her. Lord rest her soul, but I won't say her name, but Lord, she's dead. But his previous woman before her, well, she was first. My stepmom was always first. Everybody else just fell behind last. My stepmom was first. One that has Lord rest her peace. She saw that they were giving me a hard time at that van to get on to leave, and she was like, "What are y'all doing?" And they were like, "Who is this little girl?" And they were like, "That's Willie's daughter." I done already messed up because I said, but everybody know this my daddy, so it's no big deal. And they was like, "That's Willie's daughter." Say, let me on the van, but people looked at me funny. Like I didn't realize that everybody was treating me and looking at me so funny because I didn't look like anybody. I was a light-skinned little girl amongst a bunch of damn black people. And, you know, I understand, you know, something can't hurt your feelings if you don't know what it is. So I didn't know what it was when I was younger, you know. Me not knowing that he wasn't really my dad then, I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand I was a kid. It took me now to start seeing, and I was like, after that, even at 11 when my mama told me the truth, I still didn't put all those pieces because that was a young mind. But now as a woman, I can see where everything turned to a wrong, you know, just turned wrong. So, you know, I say all that to say, if you feel incomplete and you feel lost and you do want to go find where you belong, make sure you're prepared to have your feelings hurt a little bit, or for it to be emotional, or for it to be an experience that you can't explain. You know, just prepare yourself for the emotional part of it, because honestly, I wasn't prepared. I feel like I've been one of the strongest ever. Like, I was just ready to do it. I was ready from the moment I left my dad's wedding reception. When she said it, I was like, I'm finding my dad. I'm finding my dad. I'm finding my siblings. I'm finding what belongs to me. And to find out the feeling isn't really reciprocated, I mean, I'm okay with that. At least I can say that one of my brothers wants to do something with me, you know, wants to connect. And that's probably because we are the outside children. So I think that's why it's so easy for us to connect. You know, it's a lot. I'll come back to this subject again when I've cleared, and I'll probably name names, and, you know, I'll probably even vlog when we meet. If we, you know, whatever we decide to do next, if it's okay with him, I'll let you guys in on it. I just really wanted to do this video because of somebody else I grew up with. Also, I know that he found his dad through a difficult, I think through like Ancestry.com. And he went his whole life not knowing who his father was. And just now when he got grown, he's found his dad. And, you know, it really completes you guys, honestly. Like, that puzzle, missing pieces to puzzles, you never can finish them. If you have a 100-piece puzzle and you're missing 5 pieces, that puzzle will never be finished. So, I don't know if my puzzle will get finished. But I do know that I'm glad to find out I was not the only one. I'm glad that I'm glad it was someone else. That, you know, someone that was just like me, that was just wandering on the other end trying to find out. So, you know, don't give up on it, guys, no matter what it is. Even if it's not this kind of situation, if it's something you feel that you should have or something that should be for you, don't give up on trying to get it, guys. Like, honestly. And we'll touch on this some more. Probably when I get his permission, and when I'm less emotional, and when I can just, you know, when I can just digest it, you know? Because at the end of the day, I'm honestly just thinking about closing that book on my real dad. Like, because I'm accepting my sibling brother because he wants and I want. But I had to stop that video because I'm going to have to edit out all that cussing I was doing to the driver in front of me because they was tripping. Okay, guys, I will come back, though, and talk about this again when I talk, you know, when I just iron it all out. And probably the only one that I will touch on or will give names on or will put pictures is my brother. You know, y'all could touch bases with me. Let me know. Shoot some questions out there. Let me know what y'all thinking, what y'all feeling, what I should do, what I shouldn't do, what y'all feel like. I'm open to it. The comments are open. Do one more thing for your girl before you leave out of here. Hit that like button for your girl. Hit that subscribe button for your girl. And most definitely hit that post notification bell so that you can know every time your girl, Anxious Feed, post a video. See you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget the subscribe button.